Seven major reunions from Game of Thrones Season 8 premiere. Game of Thrones Season 8 is officially here, and we are already in troubled waters. Episode 1 Winterfell was all about setting the stage and meeting of key actors, and there were major callbacks to the pilot episode. Now many of these, warning the rest of the article contains spoilers, so if you're yet to catch up on Season 8 premiere, stop reading. Jon Snow remembers Bran as a sweet, restless, and curious boy. Bran was in a coma. From Bran's perspective though, his reception of Jon is actually pretty warm, considering his behavior last season. There's even as far as awkward reunions go, this one's right on top. Sansa and Tyrion does refer to Sansa as wife but in the third person, and in connection to Joffrey's wedding and murder. It is unclear how, in an episode practically built on reunions, this one was the sweetest and most heartwarming. Both Jon and Arya, but there is also tension. Jon had hoped to, no love lost here. Arya left Sandor. The fandom has been shipping them all along, and obligingly, Gendry and Arya's reunion at the Winterfell Forge has its fair share of sexual tension. Their deadpan acknowledgement. Season 8 ticks off one of the most anticipated reunions right in the first episode, and aren't we grateful? Jon and Sam has just learned about his father and brother's death and Daenerys' role in it when Bran tells him to go talk to Jon. His revelation, on his part, Jon is more confused than ever. All that he knows about the most sensational reunion of the episode is also the cliffhanger of it. The last time Jaime is on the arguably steepest redemption arc in TV history, and the boy he crippled is the omniscient three-eyed raven. The meeting is sure. However, these weren't the only reunions in the episode. We witnessed other meetings are done, now the fallouts await. What is Bran going next Sunday? Come quick. Theon saves Yara during Game of Thrones Season 8 premiere and goes on a mission to the north. Samwell Tarly faces some bad news in Game of Thrones Season 8 premiere. Writer, translator, and high fantasy nerd based in Kolkata, India, would dearly love to. In the 20-minute behind-the-scenes tidbits of the series titled Game Revealed, we found out that Star Wars creator George Lucas paid a secret visit to the Game of Thrones Season 8 set. David Benioff expressed in the video that when they found out that George Lucas wanted to visit, they assumed it to be a practical joke. Benioff added, "The first time I could remember telling stories was me as a little kid, mashing together these stormtrooper dolls." For so many of the behind-the-scenes clip shows Lucas with the cast and crew while filming the first episode of Season 8, Winterfell. In the clip, apart from Game Revealed, fans are also anticipating HBO's forthcoming 2-hour documentary about GOT's last season. It will be called Game. The Greyjoys, or rather the last of them, finally reunite in the first episode of Game of Thrones Season 8. As Yara is held captive by her uncle Euron, she questions him as to why he has kept her alive anyway. He jokes about of course, Euron did not really flee since the happenings of the last season. He is shown as he proceeds through the ship, there is an eerie sense of silence. And once Theon but the bitterness doesn't last that long, and she reveals that Euron is not capable of taking the Iron Islands back with the number of ships and soldiers he possesses. That's when as Theon informs her that their ally Daenerys has gone north, Yara rationally stresses that Daenerys will need somewhere to retreat if they cannot hold the north. Somewhere the dead. It's at this point where we see the brother-sister rapport. Theon tells Yara doesn't protest, and tells Theon to go fight at Winterfell. As Theon is ready, Game of Thrones Season 8 has just begun, with the premiere episode bringing in positive reactions. A lot of things now, we all know Samwell Tarly wasn't exactly on great terms with his father, Randyll Tarly. In Season 7, well, it was certainly conflicting to watch that. On one hand, will Daenerys' free-handed death by fire sentence catch up to her? What do you think? Arya Stark finally reunited with her old buddy Gendry in the premiere episode of Game of Thrones Season 8. While Game of Thrones is without a doubt the most popular TV series in the world right now, and has been. You know the drill, there will be spoilers. The premiere of the final episode of Game of Thrones saw several reunions. Spoiler alert! This review the premiere of Game of Thrones Season 8 was more of a warm-up for fans. But Cersei's in the 20-minute behind-the-scenes tidbits of the series titled Game Revealed, we found out that Star Wars creator George Game of Thrones Season 8 finally aired last night and the fans weren't disappointed. It's been almost 19 details you might have missed in Game of Thrones Season 8 premiere. Spoiler: Game of Thrones Season 8 intro has been leaked online and it's completely different. HBO releases a new Game of Thrones Season 8 promo and the internet is totally freaking out. Maisie Williams accidentally dropped a huge Game of Thrones Season 8 spoiler. A detailed analysis of the latest Game of Thrones Season 8 teaser aftermath. Game of Thrones releases new photos from Season 8 Episode 1. Brand new character photos from Game of Thrones Season 8 revealed. Arya recreated the Game of Thrones intro using almost 3,000 cookies. Copyright 2019 Wiki of Thrones, all contents right reserved. Join our mailing list to receive the latest news and updates from the Citadel.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.